Bernard, thank you for that insightful commentary. Now, last weekend, going through to yesterday, 3rd of May, we had the African under 18 and under 20 championship that was taking part in Ndola, that's in Zambia, in the Copper Belt of Zambia, and there were over 40 countries that were taking part, including Algeria, Ethiopia, Botswana, Uganda, Zimbabwe, the Gambia, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, and Ghana, of course. Just some of the stories that were coming out of there with these juniors is, one, of course, we know that Kenya finished third behind South Africa and Nigeria. Zambia, despite being host, did not manage a single gold medal. Nigerians were very happily saying that they didn't go to win a gold medal. They just went to give their juniors exposure and experience and exposure, not to win medals. By that time, they had won 7 gold medals at that point.
But they were able to remember that they were able to finish second. What is interesting? What is interesting, Ken, is that during the junior championships, that we had recently, in Tanzania, they were doing very well. Something that I am actually asking myself is it a different team that we had sent to Tanzania and a different team that we have sent right now? Because if you look at the results, this is the second time that we are coming second after South Africa.
In fact, we're third. This time we're third. Nigeria beat us.
That now Nigeria has beaten us. And I think this is where it brings a lot of challenges, that whoever is managing the team, for the junior championships, they should be able to realize that if these guys, they were able to do well, because we cannot say that they were tired already, because unfortunately sometimes, an athlete compete here. But again, if you look at them, when they are still very young, they can still be able to do so many races.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll keep you posted on the next championship. We know that is now in 2 weeks' time in Nairobi, the Cape Keno Classic.
Yes.
We'll see how many of these juniors are able to come up and race against the seniors. Last weekend, Sunday afternoon at Nyayo Stadium, we had the Bathurst Cup final. This is rugby, where Kenya was playing host to Zimbabwe. So it was Kenya versus Zimbabwe final. Zimbabwe are like the perennial winners of this tournament. So they were ran off winners 28-7, but this is the Bathurst Cup is an African competition where it's actually the only junior competition in Africa for rugby, and 8 nations take part in this tournament, and there are Zimbabwe, Kenya, Namibia, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, Zambia, Uganda, and Madagascar, and they finished in that order. And also this is a qualifier for the World Under 20, which is going to take part in Nairobi in July. And from Africa, we already have Zimbabwe, who qualified, being the champions of this tournament, and Kenya qualified as well, because they are going to be the hosts. And they'll be joined by Scotland, Hong Kong, Samoa, Spain, Uruguay. Then between USA and Canada, they have to find a winner. One of those teams will play. What this means is that there is some hope for our senior team, because if this junior team can feed into the senior team, then we'll not be talking of relegation things.
The beauty of hosting a championships, Ken, you get a chance to be able to play. If you remember, during the Football World Cup, Qatar was able to play in a World Cup that they would have never had a chance. So for Kenya, it's something very good, at least that we are hosting, and at least the Jibu team, will be representing Kenya during the championships. So, and I think that is something that is very important, Ken. Yeah.
Very good. Well, just before we close off our first section, because time is really not on our side. When you're having fun, time really goes fast. Bernard, what's going on? We know what's going around us. How is it in the Ethiopian Premier League? What's going? I know you had a report last week, but what's there now?
Well, a little bit of rain came down in Ethiopia, and it's been a little bit wet, but the matches were still being played. Like I explained to you the last time, in Ethiopia, they play the matches 1 month in one venue. So they play about 4 rounds or 5 rounds in one venue, and they have 4 matches being played, 4 days of playing, 4 match days, with 2 matches being played per day, so 8 matches in a week. So yesterday, Wednesday, was the last day of the matches that are being played in Adama. After this, the round will move to another town, another city called Hawassa. It's actually closer to Kenya on the other Moyale side, and that's where it's going to be played. But on Wednesday, that's yesterday, there was Mishal versus Redawa and Ethiopia Electricity versus Ethiopia Insurance. But our team, the team where our Kenyans are playing, is called Arba Minch. And they don't seem to be doing very well. Let me just give you what the log looks like in the Ethiopian Premier League. We've got St. George, who are at the top of it all. And St. George have got 48 points. They're being followed by Bahar Dar in second position, and then Ethiopia Insurance in third position. So the fourth position currently has changed, and it is with Walaita Dicha. Now that log is also going to change. There were two teams that had 31 points and 3 teams that had 30 points, 2 that had 27 points. So one game lifts you very high up. Arba Minch, where the 2 Kenyans play, was in the 13th position by the time they were coming to play their last match in Adama. But I spoke to them, and I was just wondering, how they're finding, playing in Ethiopia, and this is what they told me. Tough game today, gentlemen. What happened?
It's tough one, yeah?
Tough one.
Yeah, but I believe we give our best, but we fight another day, yeah.
But you almost looked like you had locked the game and you were going for a draw. What happened?
It was a good game. I think it's just a slip on our side, because I think the game was 50-50, but it's part of the game. They got their chance and they utilized it, but we are looking forward to another match.
Well, you just mentioned it. Yes, they got their chance and used it, but you didn't use the chances that you had up at the front, Eric.
Yeah, we managed to create some chances, but a bit of concentration. We lacked that, and I believe we're going to work on it, and in our next game we're going to get the win.
All right, guys. Good luck, eh?
Sure.
Thank you, Bernard, and thank you as usual for keeping us updated on how our Kenyans are doing. Just in 1 minute, we look at the CAF Champions League. We know that Simba was eliminated on penalties by Wydad Casablanca, but the semi-finals are coming up in next weekend. You know who's playing in the semis?
Yeah, the semis will be east of Tunis, will face Al Ahly, of course, and then Wydad AC will be facing Mamelodi Sundown of South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is what will be happening in the CAF Championships League. Yeah.
Very good. Well, and then we'll have the 2 finalists, and we see what happens. I like this. They play this 2-legged semi-final. The final will also be a 2-legged affair, not a 1-legged affair like we're used to seeing in the other tournaments. Now we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking table tennis. As I promised you, I have 2 presidents with me. I'll introduce those to you. Please keep it right here. Thank you.